So I opened TikTok the other day expecting to see cat videos, book recommendations, and someone explaining a conspiracy theory involving a microwave and the moon. Instead, I was greeted by a 19-year-old telling me that hunger is actually a personality trait. Apparently, we're doing this again. We're back to glorifying being as thin as humanly possible. And if you've been on TikTok recently, you've probably noticed the rise of something called SkinnyTok. And honestly, the vibes are concerning because somewhere between celebrity culture, diet culture, social media algorithms, and people pretending body shaming is tough love. We've accidentally reinvented the same beauty standards that people have been fighting for decades. So let's talk about it. The world has always been obsessed with thinness. One thing about society, it absolutely loves recycling problems. People act like skinny talk appeared out of nowhere, but women have been told to shrink themselves for generations. Back in the 1980s, being as thin was heavily promoted. Fashion magazines, advertisements, and celebrity culture were doing their jobs. The 1990s arrived, and suddenly everyone was chasing an extreme slim look. Then came the early 2000s. And honestly, the early 2000s deserves jail time.
Right to jail, right away.
This was the era where celebrity magazines spent entire careers zooming in on women's stomachs and drawing red circles around perfectly normal bodies.
And it's so sad that in our society right now, super stick skinny, a size 0, is supposed to be the most beautiful thing in the world. And the minute you start having some type of curves, you're considered plus size. And there's nothing wrong with plus size.
I feel like I was publicly shamed, but, but it did affect me at the time. I wanted to hide.
Hi, Anna. Hello. How do you feel about being the only plus size model here? I'm sure of myself, and that's who I am, so that's fine.
I'm too big, I'm too small, and it's like, it's bad for all of us.
I'm always too big. I've never been told I'm too small.
A celebrity could literally be standing outside buying coffee, and the headlines would be, "Has she let herself go?" Sir, she is holding a latte. Relax. The message was always the same: smaller, smaller, smaller. And unfortunately, millions of people grew up absorbing this message. Fast forward to today, have you noticed that many celebrities seem dramatically thinner than they were a few years ago? The conversation around extreme thinness is literally everywhere. People are talking about it. And what makes it complicated is that celebrity bodies don't exist in a vacuum. People see famous influencers, models, actors, singers, and immediately think this celebrity is looking that way. I should probably look like that too. But what often gets ignored is that people seem to forget that celebrities have access to everything that the average person doesn't. Personal trainers, chefs, nutritionists, stylists, an entire team whose job is literally to make them look a certain way. Meanwhile, the average person is trying to survive university, work, family, responsibilities, and remembering to drink water before 4 p.m. Anyway, these are not equal situations, yet social media constantly encourages comparisons. Now let's talk about one of the most intense example of appearance pressure, the K-pop industry. Now, not every company operates the same way, but stories from idols over the years have revealed that some pretty alarming practices are actually going on in these industries because many trainees have spoken about strict weight expectations. Some have described frequent weigh-ins where they literally have to check their weights every week or every month.
열흘 만에 2kg 빠졌어. 저 진짜 그렇게 됐으면 좋겠나?
진짜 많이 빠졌어.
진짜 대박. 되게 많이 빠졌네. 빠질 수밖에 없지. 물도 못 먹었어요. 아 진짜 열흘 만에 머리 40%.
진짜 50! 진짜?
저 진짜 너무 힘들었어요. 47.5. 박수.
Others have talked about extreme dieting before performances or debut periods.
Momo of Twice had quite an intense story with extreme dieting from when she was a trainee. During a live stream, she revealed that she had to lose 7 kilograms before the group debuted, and she managed to do so in only a week. She didn't eat anything for the whole week and basically slept at the gym. She even went as far as to eat a cube of ice per day for the whole week, as she was afraid that she wouldn't be able to stand on stage with the rest of the members.
朝何も食べない。昼サラダちょっと食べて、夜食べないみたいな生活をしてて、多分1日に300キロカロリーぐらいしか取ってなかった時、本当に力が出なくて、貧血は起こすし。
And when you're surrounded by cameras, managers, fans, online comments, constantly discussing your appearance, that pressure can become overwhelming. The result? Young people from around the world start believing these standards are normal. But just because something is common doesn't mean it's healthy. Now we arrive at SkinnyTok, the place where every bad idea eventually gets a ring light. SkinnyTok is basically a collection of content that glorifies extreme thinness, restrictive eating, and the idea that your worth is somehow connected to how small you can make yourself. A lot of creators package these messages as motivation, but sometimes the motivation sounds suspiciously like bullying. You'll see in videos implying that being hungry is a sign of discipline. To be honest, I was actually a victim at some point. Yes, there was some point in my life where I literally indulged in this whole skinny talk thing. And to be honest, I did lose 10 kg in 1 month because I was literally eating 500 calories a day, sometimes even less, because I would go like eating only one cucumber and one egg, one boiled egg for an entire day. And well, it was not sustainable because I gained the whole weight back in like 2 months. So you'll see videos implying that being hungry is a sign of discipline, that eating less is always better, that shame is somehow a useful fitness coach.
Oh, you don't want to work out today? No wonder you have so many chins.
How to stay motivated throughout your fitness journey. How many chins did you wake up with today? If the answer was more than one, that should be motivation enough.
I don't want to go to the gym. I'm gonna embarrass myself.
And you're not embarrassed to look big?
Which is strange because if shame actually worked, nobody would have problems. Because people would simply get insulted once and become perfect instantly. Imagine. One of the most worrying trends is how body shaming has started getting rebranded. It's no longer, let's shame people. Now it's, I'm just being honest. I'm motivating you. I'm helping you improve yourself. No. Sometimes you're just being mean. Because there's clearly a difference between encouraging healthy habits and making people feel terrible about themselves. And social media has blurred that line. Some influencers have built entire audience around the idea that humiliation creates motivation. But research consistently shows that shame often leads to worse mental health outcomes, not healthier lifestyles. People don't thrive when they hate themselves, they survive. There's a very big difference. If you're on SkinnyTok, there is absolutely no way that you will know Liv Schmidt.
Mindlessly grazing on snacks is giving farm animal, not chic cool girl like babe. It's giving farm animal.
Certain online communities have helped normalize the idea that extreme thinness should be the ultimate goal. These spaces often present themselves as wellness, self-improvement, or disciplined communities. But underneath the aesthetic videos, expensive coffees, and perfectly edited routines, the message can become, you are never thin enough. And that's a dangerous message because it literally has no finish line. Because when will you be skinny enough? Because no matter how much weight someone loses, there's always another impossible standard waiting. And that's just a trap. The reason why people are worried isn't because healthy eating is bad. Healthy eating is actually great. Exercise is great. Taking care of yourself is great. The problem starts when food becomes something to fear, when hunger becomes something to celebrate, when self worth becomes tied to a number on a scale, when people begin measuring their value by how little space they can occupy. And unfortunately, experts reported growing concerns about eating disorders and disordered eating patterns among young people in the social media era. Because algorithms don't care if something is healthy, they care if you keep watching. The strange thing is that beauty standards keep changing. One decade wants one body type, the next decade wants another body type, and somehow we are expected to transform ourselves every time society gets bored. But your body isn't a trend, it isn't an aesthetic, it isn't a TikTok challenge. It's the thing carrying you through your entire lifetime, so you have to take care of it, feed it, move it, respect it. And maybe don't take health advice from people whose breakfast was three ice cubes and superiority complex. Because at the end of the day, the goal shouldn't be to become smaller and smaller until you disappear. The goal should be to build a life that's bigger than your insecurities. So thank you for watching, and remember, your algorithm may be toxic, but you don't have to